Good afternoon from Virginia. It's December the 3rd, and we've been lucky enough to get some really good weather. We got a 63-degree day today. Nice and warm outside. Bees are active in the bee yard. Perfect day to get in there and check on the bees, see how they're doing so far this winter, and do a little bit of supplemental feeding. So what I'm going to do today is go through all these hives here, and not going to do it all in this video, that'd be kind of boring and long, but I'm going to go through all the hives, and I'm basically going to feed out some fondant. You can barely see that the ingredients are pretty basic. It's sugar, it's corn syrup, it's water. You can find a mixture for it online. You can make it yourself. I buy mine from Virginia Beekeeping Supply. My friends over there, they make it up, package it, sell it. It's just easier for me that way. But it comes in a big block like this. And it's kind of like a big thick slab. It kind of reminds me of a slab of bacon. I don't like bacon, so I guess you could call this bee bacon, because I cut it in big thick slices. And so I've pre-cut a few slices out of the fondant before I started making this video, so that I didn't have to bore you with me using that dull knife to cut fondant. So I've already got my fondant cut, and I've been through some of these hives. But the hive that I'm working on is this one here. Now this is one that my wife designed. I got my wife, she designed it, painted it, and what have you, and you could tell it's my favorite hive in the yard. I just gotta kind of show off some of her artistic side. Isn't that cute, Eminem? Oh, isn't that sweet? Well, anyway, I'm gonna set my fondant down here on the hive next door, just so I got some room to work. Now these guys in here, they're pretty active. But I got my smoker right here, and they're pretty active. I've given them a couple of puffs. I'll just give them, I don't know how much smoke oil in here, but I'm gonna give them a little bit of smoke, let them know that we're coming. Kind of quiets them down, makes them think quiets them down in a not so nice way. They think, hey, fire, 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 hurry up, gorge yourself on all the food. So first thing we're gonna do is take off our top cover. Quick inspection. I don't see anything but this spider in here. Alright, so next we're going to take off the inner cover. And when it's cold out, usually this propolis, this brown sticky stuff, when it's hot, stuff's like glue. It sticks together. It's like super glue. When it's cold, it's flaky and kind of breaks apart easier, and you can separate seams and things when it's cold a little bit easier. I needed my tool for that one. Oh, and we got some bees. All right, so what I like to do is just a quick look at my inner cover. Make sure my queen's not hanging out here, or make sure we don't have some crazy hive beetle infestation or something like that. And then we'll come over here and look at the hive. And I think what you can clearly see is that all of our bees are over here. This is where our cluster is. This is where the cluster's been hanging out. This is where the brood nest is. This is where they're spending most of their time. Not a whole lot of activity over on the other side of this hive. These guys still have some food in here. This is Beezilla that I had put in this hive. They look like they are trying to get to the Beezilla, but they're not doing such a good job. It's kind of dried out. So, oops, sorry. We're gonna take that Beezilla and we'll just throw it on the ground. And if they really want that Beezilla, they can get that from there. So we're gonna change it up on them, and we're gonna give them this fondant instead. Oh no, that's gonna make them mad. Sorry about that. All right, so we know that this is where the bees are clustering over here. So what we want to do is we want to get the bees out of the way first. So we're gonna have to put the smoker going for this. I prefer to use my smoker to get them out of my way. This is as much for their safety as it is for mine. I don't like to crush them whenever I can help it. You see, with a little bit of smoke, off they go, and we've got a clean space to work. Clean some of this stuff up off of these frames that they didn't eat. I'll leave this piece over here. It's not going to hurt anything. I don't see any other bugs making a life of it, so that's okay. Might even poke a few more holes in it for them, make it easier for them to get to. All right, now we can grab that fondant. Got my fondant sitting over here. Nice thing about bees, while the outside of this hive is pretty, the bees don't really care on the inside. So I can put this fondant on kind of haphazardly, and what I want to do is I want to put the fondant on top of where I know the cluster is. Oh, sorry, camera. So I put the fondant on here, and I I'm spanning multiple frames here. And the idea behind this is that we want to bring the food to the bees when it's cold. We don't want them to have to go to the food, because they won't, and they'll die. So you want to bring the food to the bees when during the winter, when it's going to be cold. So what'll happen is these bees, you could see where they were all clearly kind of here and this side. That's where they're clustering right now. They could have a cluster over here. Today is one of those rubber glove kind of days because this stuff is sticky, but they could have a cluster over here, and their number one priority is to maintain that temperature, and to maintain that brood nest and the temperature. And they will not leave from, if say they were in the center of the frame, they will not walk out to the edge of the frame to a food source. They can't move that far when it's cold. They're going to move, a couple of inches to get to a food source. So the idea is you want to bring the food right to them. It'll be right on top of their heads. Should we get a really cold snap that lasts for a while, they'll be able to get the food. Because the bees will, they are smart and they are amazing, but when it comes to food like that, it's kind of crazy that they could have a box full of honey and starve to death because it's too cold. So that's pretty much the placement of the fondant. I'm just gonna leave those other scraps there. My inner covers right now. We're gonna try not to crush any bees. Scoot out of the way. It's just kind of hard with one hand, but going out of there. All right. So put our inner cover on, and I've got push pins in my inner covers right now. You see a little push pin there? I got push pins in the inner covers that keep my lids propped for ventilation. Our telescope and cover back on. And that's it. So ready to go. The bees have some food. So if you like the videos, I know this is a long one, but if you like the videos, like us on Facebook, follow us, share YouTube, all that good stuff. And thanks for watching.